passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. And damn it, I forgot that this thing always takes a second to catch up with me. But oh well, I'm not going to repeat it. Yes, sorry, I'm late. I'm staying with my friend, and they made dinner, and dinner happened to be done right about the time I was going to start my video. So I went and ate because who doesn't want someone else making them dinner, right? But this is not the most sexy topic out there, but it's a really important one because a lot of people suffer from this and they're not really aware of it. This information, by the way, is from parsleyhealth.com. Yes, parsley like the herb. Um, but leaky gut is it can be a pretty serious issue. What is it? Your gut lining is only, it's just so crazy. Your gut lining is only one cell thick and it's joined together by proteins. Well, the barrier, it's really important to keep that healthy. It's the barrier between your bloodstream and whatever you consume. And, there's a lot of things that really aren't designed to be in our bloodstream. Chronic stress. That's my big problem. Chronic stress, junk food, bacterial infections, and autoimmune diseases. Yeah, that's another issue for me. They can all break down those proteins. And then you get a structural breakdown, which means particles of food, medications, whatever you consume. Sorry, something just went by the window. It was a car. It was not a big deal. It just got my attention. But anyway, whatever you consume gets out of that barrier and it gets into your bloodstream. And this is very problematic. A good way to think about it is your gut lining should be like a pair of nylons. They should have real tight junctures. But when you have leaky gut, it's more like a pair of fishnets. You don't want fishnets for your gut lining. Symptoms. Main symptom is inflammation. Our immune system is not designed to handle all these leaks. When you have an immune system I almost said overlord. Good night. And I'm not even drinking booze. I've got my kombucha. An immune system overload leads to chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation leads to a lot of damn horrible problems because I have a problem with chronic inflammation. I have gut issues. Acne, eczema, food sensitivities, hormone imbalances, chronic pain, brain fog, insomnia, autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's, Hashimoto's. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's several years ago. Here's the thing, leaky gut is actually fairly common, but it's overlooked a lot. So specific numbers are not available. Causes, poor diet. The standard American diet, or SAD, it's a problem. Sugar, dairy, processed meat, soy, gluten, all of those are problematic. Chronic stress. Gosh damn it, I'm a stress case, y'all. I'm working on it. My girlfriend's teaching me to knit again. I used to knit years ago, and I gave it up because my hands hurt too bad. But she's teaching me to knit again, and she keeps telling me, you need to relax. You're taking out all of your anxiety on your yarn because my knitting, and I'm trying really hard not to, but my knitting's so tight I can barely slide it on the needles. Toxin overloads. If you've taken a lot of antibiotics, you probably have a leaky gut. Pesticides in our diet. Pesticides everywhere. We got pesticides all over the place. Aspirin, NSAIDs such as ibuprofen or naproxen. I have chronic pain. You guys have any idea how much freaking ibuprofen that I take? I know it's not good for me. It's just one of those catch-22s because if I let the pain go, it makes the stress go up, which causes, so yeah, I'm kind of screwed. I'm kind of screwed on that count anyway you look at it. Dysbiosis, which I just like to say. But that's a gut biome imbalance. You should have a healthy gut has a lot of healthy bacteria. An unhealthy gut has unhealthy bacteria. You need to have a good balance in your gut biome. So how do you fix it? It is fixable. You got to avoid toxins whenever possible, which means no tap water, which means no ibuprofen. And again, what do? I either take the ibuprofen and take the hit to the gut, or I deal with the stress of chronic pain, which also causes gut problems. So yeah, it's kind of a bad place to be. You have to reduce your stress. And this is funny because the doctor, every time I see a doctor, you need to reduce your stress. Well, okay, but I journal, I meditate, I pray, I exercise, I do something just for fun, at least once a week. Actually, I do something just for fun every day. You know what? Because I'm really lucky. For me, my form of exercise is really fun. It makes me happy. It makes me joyful. Oh, my watch is making a lot of noise. It seriously, it fills me with gratitude. And not every single day, but most days it does. It fills me with gratitude. You know why? Because I am lucky enough to be able to make the choice to pry my achy ass up and do this. A lot of people aren't capable of making that choice. I know that. It does fill me with gratitude. You need to be around positive, uplifting people, which frankly, you need to do that anyway, because nobody needs to be around Debbie Downer. You need to work on your diet, and it's going to take 3 months minimum to fix this. You got to eat healthy fats, avocados, coconut oil, fatty fish. I got to tell you, I do not like fish. I don't like any fish. I especially not fatty fish, but I love avocado. So hopefully I can find a balance there. Fruits and vegetables, but you got to watch your nightshades. Nightshades can be very inflammatory. Nightshades are things like tomatoes and peppers. Grains can also cause inflammation. So you need to keep a journal. You should avoid gluten. But you know what? A lot of gluten is found in a lot of places that you wouldn't expect. If this is something you're dealing with, I highly recommend that you take the advice that I never take and keep a food journal. I hate keeping a food journal, but that's going to help you pinpoint things that you're sensitive to, that you're going to overlook if you're not writing it down. You need to increase your collagen because it helps rebuild that gut lining. And good news for me, more cardio. You want to oxygenate your body. That's good for your gut bacteria. And I love cardio. So that makes me really happy. You need to work on your sleep. You should be getting around 7 hours. Sleep deprivation, which I struggle with a lot, it makes it hard to think. It makes it hard to function. It impacts your immune system. It impacts your heart health. One restless night increases your carb cravings. That is so true because when I used to go into the office, if I slept okay, it didn't bother me. I could go stand in somebody's office and talk to them, and they could have Snickers, which is my favorite candy bar. They could have little mini Snickers on their desk. It wouldn't bother me. I wasn't interested. But if I was overtired, I'd have to avoid. I had a girlfriend who always, in fact, had Snickers on her desk, and I would avoid her office when I was overtired because I couldn't stay out of the damn Snickers. Because it's not about willpower at that point. You're trying to overcome biology, and you are not going to beat Mother Nature. Chronic sleep deprivation leads to weight gain, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even stroke. I got to tell you, this is so stupid, but I got to tell you, when I can't sleep, I'll lay there and I'll start thinking about all the horrible things that being sleepless does, which of course, just stresses me out, which means I can't sleep, which means I stress more. So yeah, it's a mess. But you know, I do what I can. Again, I journal. I've been blogging a lot lately, which is similar, but it's not the same. There's something different about taking a pen to paper. But my journals for more of my deep, dark personal secrets. And I have some things that I'm kind of working on, but I'm not quite ready to sit down and put a pen to paper about. So I've been writing in my blog instead. But you know what? It still counts. It helps. I do meditate. I've been doing these really good tapping meditations lately, and I've been really surprised at what a help they've been in really a pretty short time. And I pray every day. I pray at least, I talk to God off and on throughout the day, but I set a timer for 5 minutes, which I know isn't very long, but I set a timer, and for 5 minutes, I'm really focused just on my prayer life. And, all that helps. But I was having a conversation with my doctor in Alaska. God, it's been probably a year ago. And I was saying, look, see, they used to give me, I'm rambling here, I'm so sorry, but they used to give me about 120 Valium a year, which obviously I was not abusing 120 Valium over 365 days. And it really worked for me. It allowed me to, whenever I would get too stressed or whenever my body would get flared up, I had enough Valium where I could get ahead of it. I could break the pain cycle. Well, with the opioid crisis, the opioid scare, they quit doing that. which really pisses me off because I wasn't allowed to be judged on my own merits anymore. But I was talking to the doctor one day and I said, this is BS because you know me and you know I do. And I went down the laundry list. I exercise, I journal, I meditate, I do all these things. I generally eat pretty healthy. And yet here we are. But she still wouldn't give me any. So, I don't ask anymore. I got to figure this out on my own. And you know what? That's just the way it goes. I'm not going to beg anybody to help me. Screw that. If I can't figure it out myself, then I guess I'm just going to, I'm not any worse off than I was a year ago at this time. So, there's that. I am completely rambling. I'm so sorry. You guys have a great night. I will be back Friday at 7:00 Central. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Have a good one. Bye.